Good evening. Welcome to the Awesome Mini Podcast, episode 9. And we are joined by no guests today. But we are
Just me.
joined by...
Me,
Yep, it's just us two,
Yeah.
as per usual.
co-host,
Yep,
as per usual. Yes.
yes. And our sponsor is the erstwhile usual WLTM Transport blog. Blogging for London transports and ongoings, and especially we are looking forward to a feature on the hopefully still staying up Hammersmith Bridge.
Yes, please stay up for mine and others' sake.
Trust me, I tried walking along Hammersmith Bridge earlier today, and it was quite, it vibrated quite a bit.
I'll take your word for it. I hope it stands for many more years to come.
I really hope so. Hopefully strengthened. I'm just going to have to advertise this here, but yes. Today we will be talking about location, and more location. Today, as you know, we are at the beginning of September, and there are people who I know who will be moving into new territory, known as various cities around the country and various campuses around the country, because yes, it is indeed the start of a new academic year. And personally, I have done moves to university once, but I did it 3 times, of
Yes.
course. And Minnie, meanwhile, has moved several times, but not for university. She's only 2. I'm joking. She's not as old as I am.
I've not yet made it to university, that is true. That's for the future, hopefully.
Yeah, there are so many things that are for the future, but for right now, I want to talk about moving and our experiences. And today is definitely the day for it. And we actually have the best person for it, because this sod Minnie has moved so many times.
Yeah. I was literally just sat here counting how many times I've moved.
Yes, so shall we start?
1, 2, 3, 4,
5, 6, 7,
5.
8.
5, 6, 5 or 6 times in my life. Most of them I don't remember, and pretty much 100% of them were to a different country.
Yeah.
I've never moved to the same country. That's weird. Anyways,
So,
should I kick us off then about my whole moving?
oh yes, I want
Life.
you to give us an overview. Not your experiences per se just yet. I just want to give an overview.
Just an overview.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, I started moving house at the age of 3 months. Obviously, I don't remember that bit because I was very young. But I've lived in the UK, in America, in Switzerland, in France, and now I'm back in the UK. And my most recent move, which obviously I remember the most because it happened 3.5 weeks ago, was my move from France to the UK. Yes, I'll finally admit it. I didn't live in the UK for a long time. But I'm back now, so technically I'm now from the UK. And yeah, that move was pretty intense, but it happened. So you know what? You didn't want me to go into details right now, so that's pretty much my overview. What's yours?
Oh yeah, my overview is simple. We have 2 notable moves. One is a semi-fluid move that was really me staying at my grandparents' house for most of the time in a village in London. Yes, there are villages in London, just to point this out.
Sexy.
Yes, near Heathrow, and moved slightly closer into central London, towards quite essentially where I was born, nearly.
Nice.
But I had always lived where I was near where I was born, always. It was just that most of the time I stayed further west from where I live now, and I went to school in over. I went to primary school over there. For university, however, I did move to Coventry, and
Ew.
that is a move of 100 and of 100 and something miles, nearly 100 and something miles. It was definitely 93 and a bit miles by train.
Of course, you know by train, obviously.
Yeah, because I log it on Rail Miles constantly. Not sponsored.
Because you don't own a car and you cannot drive.
I mean, to be fair, I actually did the move by train.
Yes,
For-
because you can't drive.
No, not many of us of our family can drive.
I know.
Yeah. So, I obviously had to move to Coventry thrice.
Wait, you moved out of Coventry back home to move back to Coventry?
Because I had separate houses 3 times.
Yeah, but surely you just moved your stuff from one house to the other.
No, I moved my stuff back to London, then moved my stuff out there again because there's no overlap.
Gosh.
Because there's no overlap.
Oh.
When you're in university, this is a thing you have to deal with.
I don't know this.
When you're in university, if
Yeah.
your moving out date does not coincide with your moving in date, or in my case, I just
Yeah.
I didn't really have a house by the time I moved out because I'm organizational mess, and also because I am, I know how to deal with these things, and you can just get a house on the fly still somehow, because my university does these things that letting views and quick fire housing sort of thing. So you can get a house almost immediately. They give you a selection of houses. We'll come to that later, but
Okay.
but because of that, I knew that I'd had to bring all my stuff back from Coventry to London, and London back to Coventry again. So it depends on some people's things, but some people's experiences. But most experiences are where you have to move your stuff back and then move it back again. Because it all depends on the handover and your contact, and then your contact.
I think you're going to get into this more later. You seem to be going really in depth. I'm finding it really interesting, but
yeah, this is something you're going to have to learn soon.
Yeah, exactly. But hopefully, I won't be moving so many miles away.
Hopefully, you won't be moving any.
I'll just be in London.
I hope so. I really hope so.
Me too.
So then we can actually do this podcast live.
Oh my gosh, how funny would that be?
Oh god, 1 microphone, 2 people in a nice room.
Bedroom. In a bedroom sounds really wrong, but it will probably end up being my dorm.
Oh god. Well, I go up there every Tuesday.
Yeah.
That would be cool. Right.
That'd be fun.
Talking.
But this is just us talking about what we want to do in life.
Yeah. So we move swiftly back on to your experiences of moving. I want to know how you dealt. How hectic has been the moves, and how did you organise it all?
Okay, well, obviously I am not. I'm still a minor, much to everyone's surprise, and it's been mainly family moves. So I can only remember 2 moves in my life because I was old enough to remember them. And my first one, I was 7, and we basically hired a minivan and a man and a van, and we moved our entire house. We only moved like it's about 20 minutes by car. Like the houses were about 20 minutes by car away from each other, so it wasn't too far. I basically just remember packing all my stuff into boxes and just going back and forth across the border, which was fun, and just unloading everything into a house that wasn't fully built. So I was quite young at the time, so I guess my parents found it very stressful. I don't really know much. But all I remember is that it was a good time. My grandparents came and we all hung out and had lunch because my parents were cursing and swearing over some French builders. So yeah.
French builders?
Yes.
What were they doing?
They hadn't finished building the house.
Oh, for God's sake.
They had 9 months. It's like a baby.
I don't want to know what happens when you get one.
Oh, good to know. Um, so yeah,
What, the
that was a
baby
bit
will still
hectic.
be being built after 9 months?
I hope not.
Yeah,
I
I
need a
hope not as
swab. I
well.
really hope not.
I
Anyway,
really
so
hope
the
not.
most recent move was well, I was definitely there for it. I'm mature enough. I mean, it happened like only like less than a month ago, so obviously I do remember it. Basically, we this time my dad's company basically hired a moving team for us, so we packed our stuff to go to Spain on holiday, and we were basically living out of a suitcase for a week. Well, for 3 days, whilst they packed up the entire house into boxes, put cling film around it, made sure that would get broken, made sure nothing, you know, everything stayed intact. Then we went off to Spain. It was very stressful. Don't think I really want to go into details and stuff about it, but it happened. They packed everything. I spent um, many nights sleeping on a mattress on a floor with pretty much nothing, living out of a suitcase. I went to Spain for 12 days, which was lovely. Oz, I'm not entirely sure what you're typing, but just so you know, it will be recorded.
Um, I've got the microphone muted whenever I type for the podcast. So
Oh, oh, sorry, I did not know that.
remember, I'm the one that has OBS. Remember, so
I'm sorry. I will keep going. So yeah, then we went to Spain, and then we came back, and half my family had to fly back to France to pick up the cat, and the rest of us flew to England to pick up the house, pick up the keys, find the house, and basically race the packers to the house. And when we got there, I'm so glad
wait,
the English
race the Packers.
yeah, because we had to get to the house before the unpackers came. We had to get to the house before our stuff arrived. At the stuff arrived at 1. We had to get off the flight at Heathrow, get all the way, pick up the keys, get all the way to the house, do the house inspections, take photos of the damage.
As per usual. By the way,
Yes,
remember, if you are moving
take
into a new,
photos
yeah, if you are
of
moving
the
in
house.
to a rental property, especially a rental property, do take photos of the house. Any damages, any scratches you can see, any stains on the mattress, any
Take
minute
photos
things.
and report it to the lawyer. The lawyer? What's the person
I
called?
mean,
The
if
house person.
landlord, but also
Landlord, there we
if you
go.
have a lawyer, always log, if you have like a personal lawyer or something like that, you can log the stuff in with him just in case if they then try to bring up some utter fake or some reason to make,
Indecencies.
yeah, yeah, to create to grab some of your deposit, because some landlords are like that, trust me.
You have to basically report everything to the landlord. Our landlord is very friendly, very lovely. But we did have to report several damages to them, and we had photos taken. Because we were not the people moving our own stuff, we then had to go around all of our stuff, and anything broken we had to take photos of, and also send that to the moving company. And all sorts. So that process is quite hectic. It's not easy. So yeah, we basically had an hour and a half to get ourselves from Heathrow to the new house and have done all the checks and stuff. We got there and we basically had 10 minutes left of the checks, and the unpackers arrived. And then good old Tom, who cleaned our windows, came and gave us a little leaflet halfway through that said, "Hi, I cleaned your windows," which was weird, but that happened.
Oh, they do. Contractors do sometimes give you their calling card. Um,
Yes. He
Just need
just
to remember
we
that.
were we were all over the place. We were up, down, round, around, telling people where to put boxes, unpacking boxes, doing all that stuff. And a guy just knocks on the door and says, "Hi, I cleaned your windows," hands us a flower, walks away.
I mean, to be
It
fair,
was
that's at least he's friendly enough to do that.
it was slightly weird. Didn't have time to think. Running around, up, down, all around. Myself and my mum, because the rest of my family were driving up with the cat. And we had to get oh, and then the Tesco woman arrived because we needed food.
Tesco
Because
woman.
we didn't have a car because the car was being driven through France.
Did the Tesco woman use the movers to pack the
She
shopping?
did. She did.
Wow.
She came up with her little Tesco van, and the unpackers took the it, brought it in. So that happened. She nearly took our unpackers, but no, we kept them.
Oh god, that'll be an interesting concept. Oh, the unpackers are gone. Where they gone? To help her with her Tesco deliveries around
Tesco
southwest, around the southwest of the home counties.
Yes. So
Yeah.
yeah, we nearly lost our unpackers. That happened. Otherwise, yeah, it was about 3 days of solid moving, and we've moved in now. It's all good. Still a couple of boxes lying around, not gonna lie, but I've been unpacking up, down, left, right, centre. But yeah, that's pretty much my moving experience. I'll let you talk about yours
Ah, yes, lovely.
for 5 minutes.
5 minutes? Nah, it's going to be way longer
Yeah,
than that.
I'll let
Because
go
that's what you're
ahead.
like.
Take it away.
I don't want to take you away, but sure.
No, please don't take me away. That sounds weird. This is going in a very strange direction.
Don't worry,
Tell us all about
that's your
moving.
boyfriend's job. Anyway, the first notable move, quote unquote, that I had, where I moved from my grandparents' house to where I was living with my mother anyway. So it wasn't like, I was staying away from parents and stuff like that. No, this was genuinely like we just moved to we sort of like moved here to where actually we had the house since when I was born. So it was just a move from one place that you already live in to another place that you technically live in, but you don't usually visit half the time. But I kind of prefer living here now. Of course, I feel like I'm at home, so this is my home. So really, the memories from that move is just, oh, we're just taking some stuff there. That's it. Most of the stuff was already here because obviously we owned the place. So we owned the place. We had the place already. So it's just, yeah, nothing to note. However, the most important notes that I have now are my university moves. All three of them, and all three went in very weird ways because obviously I have to move. My first university move was it was me, mother, grandparents, um, all of us. We went on a train. Uh, I think I'm trying to remember because I know it wasn't that long ago, like 4 years ago. But the first one was quite iffy. I think yeah, we went by train. No, either way, it was like we ended up going up there. Uh, it was my first ever move away from family members. I was going to live on my own for the first time. It was obviously a new experience, but I felt confident that I had some sort of experience. I had some sort of you thing that I could live on my own for a bit because I'm at the time I was 18 and I felt that I was prepared and ready to you know what's coming up. I think the most interesting thing, however, would probably be the financial part. But other than that, which will probably be talked about in a future podcast, other than that, the move was fine. I'd found my house on a we were doing uh, because I'd sort of like arrived at university. Got into university quite late. In contrast, I had to do one of those. The university has this letting agency, where we can pop up and book an appointment. They'll show us around some houses, give us some viewings. Put us in. It was usually like the parents and the student or the prospective student, and we'll go around to various houses that they actually owned, or are being used as the letting company for. Coventry's one is called Future Lets. They do things for Coventry University students mainly, and they gave us a range of houses with ranges of price points, amenities. I chose for a basic house because I just didn't want to. I didn't want to do much with the house. I didn't want to spend that much money. I wanted to keep a lot of my money because you get obviously allocated a bit of money from your student finance. I spent most of my student finance on the house.
On alcohol.
Oh yeah, no. The expendable part of my student finance, I usually spent it on train tickets. But
Not alcohol.
hey, at least I got to experience many things like intercity travelling on a regular basis,
Nice.
riding Virgin trains constantly, and finding out that their meal deal is actually really good.
Sounds like something you would do.
Yes, and finally, hot foods are great. Moving in was pretty much a formality in the sense of I got my stuff. I had my luggage. There's like about 4 bags, four suitcases, my backpack as per usual, and we headed.
That's it?
Actually,
How
no,
big were your suitcases?
big. I don't bring. It's like hold luggage suitcases.
Okay, I own about that much stuff as well.
Actually, no, it's 2 hold luggage suitcases, 2 hand baggage suitcases,
Okay.
of which,
Actually, yeah, that sounds about right.
although to be fair, and I brought them up to Coventry. Yeah, we entered the house, inspected it, get photos, and then afterwards, after they set the bed for me, because it was just trying to work out how to set the bed really, and they know how to set a bed compared to I do, as in like putting the sheet over the mattress. I know
Your
how to do.
mum?
Grandparents. It's the grandparents thing rather than mother. Mother knows it's like I can do stuff myself.
Mate, I had me, myself, and I setting up my bedroom.
No. It was just the bed. That's it. I said to them, look, I'm fine. I can do everything else.
Go away.
Yeah, quite essentially. And then they went off home eventually. And they said, okay, I want to be left to my own devices, and I'll unpack everything else so I know where everything is and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Then I decided I can't be asked to unpack everything just yet, because what I want to do, and I ended up doing, is all my clothes is in a suitcase.
You're just lazy.
Oh yeah, I was lazy.
I unpack everything.
No,
except my decorations. They go up on the weekend.
No, what I do is I took them from the luggage, worn them, washed
And then
them.
put them in a different luggage.
No, and then I put them in where I was going to put them. So it was like unpacking, but after using it and washing
Wait,
it.
Nah, that's just lazy, my friend.
Hey, I'm a lazy sod.
Okay, well, you need to get better at that.
Don't
okay?
worry. After like second year, third year, we ended up putting stuff properly.
Okay, good boy.
Yeah, because I just didn't want to have a piece of luggage right by my bedside full of my clothes that I could do. But to be fair though, my room was large enough to do that. Moving out was easy enough. We didn't have we had a calf when we moved in first. When I moved into my first house, when I moved out, it was just my grandparents and me, and I packed. I What I did beforehand was over the previous like month, 2 months. I started packing things up in a one of the hold luggages that I had, as well as
Yeah.
my Swal hand carry that I always had for like 3 years, um, which was always broken, and packed everything up, like everything I could. Like, to be fair, it was I had sufficient clean clothes that could last me for the amount of time I was still going to be there. So it was just really like I had to bring clothes anyway, so I might as well bring the dirty ones because I'm not going to bring them back. And it was a few other things that I didn't necessarily need to bring, and I brought them over the course of like 3 visits beforehand. And then
Yeah.
the final time, we packed everything. We had to pack. I took literally a day to pack everything, and that was the day that we moved out. I
Yeah,
moved out.
doesn't take long.
Um, it was like 6 times to check whether everything was.
Quite stressful though.
Oh yeah, they made it quite stressful just to ensure that I got everything out. Um,
Yeah, um, yeah, I feel like people don't know this, but I do have to pack my entire bedroom into boxes once a term. So I've been doing this for years. So packing and unpacking to me is like it's natural. But also, can I just say for those people, I feel like we're just moving on with the little tips here. For those people who are moving out of their parents' house for the first time, do bring loads of photos of like you and your family or your friends or just loads of fun, like nice times, and print them off. Print off these photos, get them like not on paper, get them done like nicely. I think it costs about like £4 from WH Smith to print 25 nice photos. Um, just of like nice memories from back home and your family and the things that spark joy, just to make your new room house more homely. And also bring fairy lights because I know I'm a girl, so obviously I like fairy lights, but fairy lights are such a nice little aesthetic thing. And you just turn them on in the evenings and they glow and they're just sweet and cute and lovely. They make it so warm and homely. But yeah, just bring loads of little things that spark joy, really, because it will definitely make your homesickness not as bad.
less
And
prominent, definitely. It really depends on what kind of person you are. To be fair, though.
if you're like a rock and roll emo, then bring lots of rock and roll emo stuff to your bedroom. If you're like a pastel princess like me, then bring lots of pastel princess things to your bedroom.
Would you like to know what I
If you're a
bought?
transport weirdo, bring transport weirdo things to your bedroom.
No, I didn't actually bring anything to
Bro,
spruce up my
you,
bedrooms
you're a
for 3 years.
sad person. You're just so sad.
What?
Mate,
I liked
I
plain
have
walls. I like
no.
minimalist.
You're just a plain. No one likes.
Oh,
walls, so
also
you're sad.
no. The actual reason is because I can't be asked to deal with
And
blue
again,
tack
he's
damages.
lazy.
No, blue
Okay,
tack damages.
no.
It is actually chargeable thing.
Yes,
So
I
that's
know.
why.
I don't use blue tack. I use tape.
Yeah. Also,
Doesn't take the paint off.
I don't want
Doesn't
to.
take the paint off the walls. And
Nah,
cork.
I've actually used tape once before, and it has taken paint off the walls.
You just repaint it. Doesn't leave a blue tack oil mark.
I know. I'm looking at my wall now,
So you
and
can't
there is
just
some blue. There's no oil marks. It's just blue tack left over.
exactly.
But I don't care. It's my
You
own
have to
wall.
sand it down, and then just I had to do this on my actual bedroom. You sand it down and repaint it. Yeah.
Well done. And
Um.
in the course of my second move, my third move, I bought a few more. I mean, to be fair, the things that I bought that were more quote unquote homely were I didn't buy most of my. I had like one bowl that I kept, that I bought for being in university. But other than that, all the cutlery I bought were from home, so it was just like from the load that I had at home. So all my
That's
plates
not really homely though.
Do you know what's also homely?
What?
Looking out your window every morning and hearing, like every few months, you'll just hear drilling to the wall. 'Cause that's totally homely. Actually, to be fair, in my first year, I did go back to London quite a bit, and that was mainly because I had transport. I was doing my transport blog stuff on the side. Still,
I never go home. I just stay here.
I mean, to be fair,
By
you
my
can't. In
slab.
contrast,
Yeah, I also no, I can. I now can go home if I wanted to on the weekends, but no thanks.
oh yeah,
I would rather stay. It's much better.
I know because you're one of those people who love school. But
I love school and I don't really want to see my family. So
I know because you prefer to see your friends, your housemates, and your boyfriend.
that
I've listed everyone that's your age that you want to see. I mean, of course, you'd also want to see your matron.
My teachers. Oh my gosh, matron.
Oh yeah, your matron's a lifesaver.
Am I allowed to talk about matron just for 5 minutes?
Not 5 minutes. Let's say give it about 2
minutes. Give me 2 minutes. Okay. So I'm a girl, therefore I have girl issues. Okay, cramps, periods, that sort of stuff. I'm quite open about it. If you're uncomfortable, I'm sorry. I'll be quick. So I had period cramps today, and that was fun. Did not enjoy it. So I go to matron. I just walk through the door of her office and go, matron, can I have some ibuprofen, please? I'm in a lot of pain because I have cramps. And matron just goes, yep, and just stands up, goes, and she's like, how much do you need? And I'm like, oh, a good 2 pills. She just gives me 2 pills of ibuprofen. They know me though, they know I get really bad cramps, so they're like, how much do you need? Big dosage or little dosage? Big dosage today, matron. So I got big dosage, and then she was like, oh, do you want a brownie or a cupcake or something chocolatey?
brownie.
That helps. I was like, oh, I could do with a brownie actually.
Wait,
So
did they make the brownie or?
it's the really amazing girl in my house actually. She bakes, and she's literally gonna go off and be a professional baker because she makes
Great
cakes that
British.
are good enough for Instagram, like proper,
I mean, to be fair,
beautiful things,
aesthetic.
like masterpieces, things that I would never want to eat, but they are delicious. And
which is why you ate her brownie.
yeah, and I was like, oh, I could do with a brownie. So I had a brownie. I gave matron back her keys because I needed keys to unlock the brownies. Yeah, and then matron was like, do you need anything else? It's like, yeah, I need a nurse's appointment. She booked me that, and oh, she's just a legend. I just love her so much. But yeah, that's my. So yeah, technically, if you're moving away from home, don't worry. There are always people there to help you. In my case, I have matron. In your case, you might have student council.
It was mainly I had housemates who sometimes helped. It's fairly interesting. I think it's like one time I think like in my first year, one of my housemates was a female.
Oh yes.
Who was I think it was like third year or something like that, and her boyfriend or fiance was who visited fairly commonly from I think it was like Huddersfield or something like that, and me and him were just talking about his life dealing with working at McDonald's, working around with other things, and just talking about life. And I got on well with her boyfriend. because it's just
Yeah.
talking about life and stuff. So that went well. With
But yeah,
that
your
was mainly the first. In
housemates
this,
are definitely always there to
yeah, your
help you. I
housemates are
mean,
there to help you. If
I get my housemates to dress me for every single occasion. If you know me well enough, you know that I have no sense of fashion.
I know you
So,
don't, because I see
so
you. I see you.
normally I go out looking like a mess if no one has dressed me. So my very kind housemates dress me for every occasion. Every time I need to go out to something that has relative importance, they will dress me for it. So this Saturday, I will be dressed by someone else, and they give me all their clothes, their shoes, everything,
I mean,
hair, makeup done by
oh
them.
god,
I
I was about to
normally
say you're
do
gonna give you
none of
their
it.
hair. No, it's not that bad.
No, no, no.
But
They do my hair, they do my makeup. They do everything, and I walk out looking beautiful, and it's because I've done none of it myself. They are my lifesavers. I love them to bits. I don't know what I would do without all of them.
that is true. What will you do without them when you inevitably have to move out and end up having to, I don't know, dress yourself for a date or something?
I will find new housemates. I will call winter.
What next? You're gonna end up calling. Oh god, imagine calling Finn to dress you.
Finn has no sense of fashion. I'm not calling Finn.
My
I'm
sense of
not calling you. You have
no,
no sense
because
of
no,
fashion
my sense
either.
of fashion will be suits.
Yeah, but I don't own. I do own a suit, but
No, because then
you
you
see what
end
I
up
mean.
coming out with like massive, like a massive, like oversized suit. It would be
The
so
suit
funny.
fits me. Thank you very much. Oh, unless I'm wearing yours. To be fair, I do wear other people's clothes. Normally, it's like half my wardrobe, half theirs, and I'll just chuck it on and rock it because, yeah, I don't dress myself. To be fair, a lot of things I get help from. Yeah, I'm not the greatest, but I pay everyone back in food.
You pay
I
everyone back.
make.
I mean, when you're
Uh,
right now where you are, you pay everyone back in food. When you're older, you'll be paying everyone back in drinks. That's how it normally works.
exactly, exactly. Currently, I make them all cheese toasties on a Tuesday
Which is
because
why Minnie only came here about 2 minutes before we were about to start.
which is why 2 minutes before the podcast, I called and it was like, "Hi, are we starting?"
Yes, and because I was waiting for you for so long, I completely forgot that we were about to start.
It's fine. We got it all sorted. To be fair, we were quite on time. I read it very.
Quite on time, about 2 minutes late.
We are never this on time. Can I say we are very organised?
Yeah, considering I got the idea of the topic about 20 minutes before we started.
I was still making toasties at that point. I was cooking away.
You were cooking for
Oh yes.
you were cooking for many people.
I also found my bath mat. Sorry,
What?
that's really irrelevant, but I found my bath mat.
Just a random. Oh, I just found my bath mat!
No,
Yay!
I basically, it came, no, it didn't even come in a conversation. People just walked through the door, and I went, guys, do you know where my bath mat is? Just out of nowhere. And they were like, no. And then one girl goes, yeah, it's in my bathroom.
Why was it in her bathroom?
No idea. No one has any idea why it was there, but I got my bath mat back, so I'm really happy.
In
Yeah.
less acrimonious circumstances, by the way. Talking of food with your housemates, in your case, you have a very large house.
Yes.
We had in my second year, I moved in with 3 girls, all taken.
Oh, poor
The
you.
painfulness of being
Single.
single, mostly straight, and in a household full of 3 girls.
Wait, you only had girls, no boys.
No boys. It was girls in the second year.
Oh,
Uh,
I would hate that.
I I found it very awkward for the
Oh
whole
my gosh,
year.
I bet you
It
did.
was so awkward, and also obviously my mental state wasn't completely there, but mainly though, it was just awkward considering like there was one night where obviously the walls are fairly thin,
Oh
and
dear.
are fairly thin, All three of the girls have their other halves.
I'm already going with
I'm on a Skype call at about late,
Oh dear.
whispering,
Oh dear.
and all I can hear is thud, 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 thud from like three corners.
That sounds great.
Oh yeah, it was definitely great. Brackets, exclamation mark, brackets. That's totally sarcasm. Of course it was. Yeah. But one good thing about it was I made. Obviously, there were a few times where I made pancakes. It was easy.
Oh, I make good pancakes as well for
And
90 people.
one time, I was fairly busy. On the day that they were going to make a roast, and they made a roast dinner, and we all chipped in, and it was actually a really nice roast. I had to the really
You
bad
had to
thing.
do the washing up.
No, I didn't actually, because what ended up happening was
They got the other halves to do the washing up.
no, I had to because I had a deadline on the same day, so I was finishing off some coursework whilst eating
As you
dinner,
do.
and I had to pack my bag because I was going back home on the same day as the Christmas dinner as the thing. So
That's just your bad timing.
it was all bad timing at once because I didn't know that I didn't know until they gave us the deadline that the deadline was on that date. I thought, okay, I'm gonna have to do the food. Oh, everything's on the same day. So I ended up having to eat the food whilst doing my coursework. I mean, I also had a very nice time. It was actually a really nice dinner. And then I submitted the coursework, and the bags were all up, and I left the house almost immediately after I submitted the coursework, got in a taxi, straight up to the station, got on a train, bam, bam, bam. And I'm on my way home, and I ended up having a nice Christmas at home.
Oh, was it for Christmas? That's so cute.
I'm always home for Christmas.
Oh, me too.
I know.
I don't have a choice.
I do, and I chose to go home for Christmas.
To be fair, I think I will always go home for Christmas. I think that's just
For uni.
one
when you're
time
in
of the
uni.
year I should go home. Otherwise, my parents might stop paying.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But for me, every single holiday, when I was in uni, every single holiday, every single like massive break, even the study leaves, I went back home. Actually, except for my final year study leave, because I had to work.
Ugh, gross.
Because final year project, I thought, okay, right, I might spend some time at home, but most of my time will be up there, and I accepted that, and it worked, and I managed. And because remember, I did dislocate my knee in the final year of my uni studies,
Yes, you
which meant
did.
that it was a acrimonious end to all of that.
But if you went into detail, we would be here for another 3 hours.
Talking of 3 hours,
Talking of 3 hours. Are you going to mention the sponsor now?
no,
The WTM Transport blog. I
no,
could do the sponsor message.
no, you're not going to do the sponsor message because it's my blog.
Oh, I'm sorry. You. Okay. Keep
But
going.
talking of 3 hours, though, seriously, I once had to. I think it's like I had to try and at the end of my second house, I had to fix the bed because me and my granddad were the people up there.
Oz the builder, can he fix it?
God rest his soul. And it was like one of those. It was quite nice because I had rare grandfather grandson time, like what I used to have when I was younger. But that's for a
Aw.
whole other podcast that we've already done technically. Uh, and
Okay.
because it was the one about growing up that you weren't there for.
That I haven't listened to and wasn't there for. I am a great co-host.
I know, but because
I thought
because of
Yeah.
that, my moving out process was fairly weird because I didn't have to move out on the date that we said that we could, but I wanted to because I just wanted to get rid of, the contract, get rid of the house, to go back home.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of paperwork that goes into moving house.
Oh yeah, there is.
I still need to call up some important people.
Oh, that's a
Oh,
good
that'll be
thing.
fun.
Oh,
I'm still having to do moving house stuff. Yay!
well,
And
well
it's
done.
like a month later.
Thing is, though, is
Cause
I had to somehow remember to finish all the packing. Once I finished all the packing, my granddad fixed the bed because the bed was wooden slats. Remember, for those people who move into new houses in university, you've got wood. If you have wooden slats, remember, the stress levels on wooden slats are very, very, very slim.
so
So
either
be
be
prepared.
skinny.
No, 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 no. Even if you laid on that bed, it would break.
I'm quite small though.
No, seriously, it was that bad.
I also don't jump onto my bed
I
because
I've
I'm a good person.
I've never jumped onto my bed and it still happened.
Okay,
Did you
well,
see?
I
Did you
will.
see? Oh yeah, one of our friends, Finn, he
Good
his
old
bed
Finn.
his bed managed to break within the first 2 days of
That
him
was funny though.
sleeping at the house. The bed broke within 2 days, and it was a wooden slatted bed.
It's really
So
funny.
that happened, and yeah, it's my advice is you either reinforce the bed with more wood, cause like what we did, we had to because we couldn't find bed slats that fitted. What we had to do instead was we decided, right, my granddad's gonna bring a jigsaw, I think, something like that, a saw, to cut the wood to size. We would find pieces of wood which ended up being floorboards, surplus floorboards that you can find in B&Q, and stuck them into where the slots were. And with the remaining floorboards, we decided, right, we're going to put it over where the broken bit was, so it's going to be more. It's going to be better enforced. We also had I also had to replace the undersheeting because it had the protective sheet. So we just used one that came from the comforter set. Yes, comforter set. We got the set from America. Um,
Do
and
your own DIYs.
yeah, be able
Do it yourself.
if you can't find someone if you can't find someone to fix it, always prepare for either someone that you know that can fix it, because then obviously it'll be fairly cheap, or in my case free because family, or find
Yeah, I'd probably get my dad to do it, but
yeah.
I'd ring home and go, "Yo, father, please come fix my bed.
Yeah,
Love you."
I have to now. Yeah, I'm now forcibly having to be the handyman, and
It's easy. I
yep,
could do it for you.
I know, but the thing is though, my weakest point in school was probably DT, other than PE, of course, due to knee. Um,
I could do it.
yeah, I could do it.
I've made mine go kart before.
I've flown, I've had to.
You've made your own plane.
I wish.
See, I've made my own go kart and it worked.
I've made my.
And it had a brake.
I've
So
made my own. I think it was like I made in the first year of uni. Made my own with a group. We ended up making our own like egg carrier where we had to try and have a carrier.
egg carrier.
Like try.
Egg carrier. An egg carrier.
It wasn't even called an egg box actually. It was like seriously, you had to make
I make a go kart and you make an egg carrier. Are you even trying to compete with me?
3D printing. We had to do this all with that, and it was a group task and stuff like that. University brings up some weird projects. Anyway,
I can't wait. I love being creative.
first year we had to do something like that where where the carrier would be dropped from a certain height,
Oh
and
my gosh, they do this all the time. This
and
is a classic game, mate.
I know
I've played this.
Yeah, but you had to design it using 3D printing and stuff like that.
Oh, we
And
just had newspaper.
oh yeah, my thing worked. It worked because it was totally mostly my design, and it was the most rudimentary design possible. Box,
Oh, good.
cushioned area that was fairly thin, sorted. It was basically putting an egg in a box. It worked.
Wow. You know what you could actually do? You know, card sometimes it's folded in lots of different ways over two slats.
We
Actually,
didn't have
it means that the
cardboard. You
cardboard
had
doesn't
to,
go.
and we're also
Yes, but
straying
you could
from it.
3D print fun. You know that beehive shape. Like, is it an octagon that they use?
Minnie, you try and draw a beehive shape in the first year of university in the first ever project that you are going to be doing
I
on
will.
CAD.
I'll troll. I used CAD for my textiles in GCSE.
I had no
So
experience of CAD. I had absolutely no experience of CAD, and I had
And
to do
everyone
this.
listening has no idea what CAD is. CAD is computer aided design.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Because 3D printing is CAM, which is computer aided manufacture.
Not Cami, because that's the name.
Someone else.
Yeah. But oh god, I just remembered. We had to use industry software from Dassault Aviation. Actually, no, just Dassault Systems. Katia.
Salty.
Dassault. It's a French company.
Salt.
Dassault.
Okay.
Anyway,
Oh. Okay, yeah.
it took you that long to realise.
You keep cutting out, that's why.
No, you keep cutting out for.
Every time I cut out for you, you've cut out for me, just so you know.
Yeah, but let's put it this way. I'm hosting, so my
Exactly,
vocals
so
will
it doesn't
be fine.
matter for you.
Yeah. In other things, moving out, of course, is Akarone's thing. Sometimes you do feel sad that you have to move out, and it was interesting moving. I was like moving out every single year. The final year that I moved out on my own. I had no one to help
That
me.
was sad. I never have anyone to help me. Can you come help me?
Thing is, though, is I was moving out of university, so it was
Can you
like,
come help me move out, please?
you wish, I wish, we all
In the
wish.
summer. Yeah. Come
Yeah.
help me move out. Yeah, cool.
And
Sounds good.
talking of, hey, if you pay my rail ticket, sure.
I actually will. Please come move
Good,
out.
good.
Help me move
But
out.
moving out is a good way to slowly close the podcast. As once you move out, you're like sort of like in a way that even though you go to university and you're moving out, you do sort of like are closing a chapter of your life, even if you only lived there for a year. And there is some emotional attachment that you don't realize you end up having to anywhere you live, whether
To a
it be
gross
positive
place.
or negative. You still have an emotional attachment, whether it be positive or negative.
Obviously, you spent your life there. It's like
Yeah.
big.
Do you know what's also big? What's also
I don't want to answer that.
What's also big is having to move out by yourself, without a car, and
Yeah,
with
I don't
only
know how.
and with one piece of luggage.
I'm driving.
I had to do loads of shuttles, on Virgin trains, and it worked. I got out back home, and yeah, that was an interesting move. My final year. Just always remember to sort out your paperwork before your contract ends, and always remember, don't leave it too late.
Gosh.
Don't leave it too late, and always remember to ensure that your leaseholder, the leaseholder or the letting agent, knows that you are going to move out. And finally, make sure that they know a year afterwards, because seriously, I got an email not too long ago from the letting agency saying, "Oh, I have to vacate the premises," and I'm like, "No, I didn't live there. I for a whole academic year,
What?
and
They thought you were still there.
yep." And I'm like, "Okay." So
That's quite funny.
How's your? I mean, like quickly. Very quickly? How's your moving out experiences?
I just pack everything into a box and it goes into storage.
Yeah, that's totally different from you actually having to carry your stuff around.
Well, I can't because I used to live abroad.
I know.
So all I had to do was take a suitcase, a trunk bag back home, with all my stuff for the holiday. But definitely end of this year, I will have learnt to car up to school. I'll probably go down by train, then drive all the way up, load my car full of my stuff, and drive all the way back home. I think that's going to be my plan.
That'll be fun, and you'll hopefully have other people to help you with the packing and
So I
moving.
might get you to come and we can do the drive back home together.
Well, hey, and talking of going back home, it's time for us to go back home.
We are both already home, but yeah.
You know what I mean.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
obviously, we give thanks to my lovely co-host.
Oh, thanks. I will thank myself. And we also give thanks to our great host.
Lovely, yay! And we also give great thanks to our sponsor, the WLTM Transport blog. Visit them at www.wltmtb.co.uk, covering London's transport and all the changes that are happening fairly recently. I do need to do a blog post on there soon.
Yes, you
And
do.
you're going to ask, what should I bring from my left hand to my right hand?
I wasn't going to ask that, but I will now. What are you bringing?
Yeah, because remember,
This
sponsors have to pay things, and
yes.
yeah, and obviously
So tell me.
it is the. I'm going to butcher this lovely French. This is going to be fun. I am putting
you doing?
9 freshly wrapped tartlets of the brand
Oh, wow.
Bon Maman Petite
Bon
Tartelette
maman petite tartelette.
with lemon.
Oh my gosh. Avec citron.
And that's gone from my right hand to my left hand.
Congratulations.
And on that note, they're made in France by SMB.
I'm glad Bon Maman make their stuff in France.
I know, and talking of made in France, I'm joking. You're not made in France.
Great.
You're made here.
I am.
And we bid you a good night.